Hello and welcome to the annual sportsmanship meeting for athletes and parents. My name is Chase Lonstein. I am the athletic director here at Hannibal High School, and in this presentation, we're just going to be going over some expectations for sportsmanship for each parents and athletes and how that should look for each of them. So to start this meeting off, we are going to go over Hannibal High School's mission for athletics. So real quickly, Hannibal Heights Athletics is committed to excellence in athletics while supporting Hannibal High School's educational mission. Participation in interscholastic activities is a vital part of a student's total educational experience. These experiences provide students growth as an individual, as well as a leader in the classroom and on the field. Student participation in any of these activities is a privilege, not a right. This privilege carries with it responsibilities to uphold the legacy of Hannibal athletics, that student athletes are hardworking, talented, honest, committed, respectful, and show sportsmanship. The main purpose of Hannibal athletics is to develop student athletes to become positive role models to the community. Participation in high school athletics also serves as an extension of character development. Members of the athletic department will teach, discuss, and model positive characters such as respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, integrity, and kindness. So today's meeting is discussing all about sportsmanship, which is stated within our school's mission for athletics. So we're going to start off and ask, what is good sportsmanship? Good sportsmanship is understanding and following the rules of the sport or activity so that it is pretty much fair for each team or each side of the ball that's participating. Good sportsmanship is showing respect for your opponents, and it is also respecting officials and the calls that they make during a game, no matter if you agree, disagree with these calls. Good sportsmanship is showing respect for the officials. Good sportsmanship is avoiding foul language or inappropriate chants or cheers during games. Good sportsmanship is for teammates to encourage other teammates to stay positive and keep a positive attitude throughout a game. Good sportsmanship is taking pride in winning but not rubbing it in, as well as accepting a loss without complaining or making excuses. So these are all examples of good sportsmanship that we can start showing every game, every year for our athletes. So some expectations that we have for our student athletes is that for sportsmanship, student athletes are expected to follow the rules of the game. That means that they're not allowed to take the rules into their own hands, to cheat, to do anything like that. They must follow the rules, and that is to show good sportsmanship. Student athletes will treat their opponents with respect, and they can do this by shaking hands before and after the game, avoiding foul language during the game, and no cheat shots or unnecessary behavior during the game. That's one way to show good sportsmanship, as well as cheering on their teammates, respecting officials' calls. Some expectations for student athletes is one, to act as a role model to other student athletes as well as younger fans that are in the stands, because whether you realize it or not, you athletes are setting an example for the future generations and how they should act. So you should be a good role model, a positive role model, and demonstrate good sportsmanship so that these younger athletes can learn. You should represent our school with pride and avoid any actions that would embarrass our school or our athletic program. And remember that participation in athletics and activities is a privilege and not a right. That means that we are giving you this opportunity, and it is not a right given to you. We are giving you this opportunity, and it can be taken away from you. Another thing that we have is our expectations for our parents or spectators. And this is also discussing good sportsmanship that parents or fans can show while at games. So some things that parents can do at games to show good sportsmanship is to avoid foul language or negative comments, to treat coaches and players with respect from both teams. I know sometimes you guys get a little rowdy and start chants against the opponents, but to show good sportsmanship, you need to treat coaches and players from both teams with respect. Parents and fans can maintain a positive attitude and enthusiasm while cheering on their team, their players, their athletes. During the game, they can stay in designated areas. This is to avoid any interference. Um, Another expectation for parents is to be a positive role model of sportsmanship for our athletes and for other parents and fans. Just like I said before, the athletes to be a good role model. Well, also parents need to be a good role model of sportsmanship because sportsmanship is kind of contagious for the fans. Like if a lot of the fans are being respectful and only a small handful are being unsportsmanlike, then that small handful will kind of assimilate to the crowd and be more sportsmanlike. So being sportsmanlike can be contagious to the fans. So we just recommend that parents be a positive role model of that. And another thing to remember is that athletics serve as a learning experience and mistakes will be made from all sides. It could be from coaches, it could be from players, it could even be from referees. So it's important that parents and fans remain sportsmanlike and understand that this is still a learning experience. So, one thing that I do have for you guys today is our parent and our student contract for sportsmanship. This contract just kind of goes over in detail what we expect from you, kind of what we've talked about in this meeting. So we will have you guys sign off and return these contracts. The biggest thing about these contracts is that we have discussed sportsmanship with you guys and what the consequences can be if you demonstrate unsportsmanlike qualities. So if you want to, you can read it in the contract, what happens if you are unsportsmanlike, but we have copies of that in the back. Make sure that you do get one and sign off on those. Another handout that I have for you guys today is an article called Sportsmanship and Why It Matters. So, athletes, parents, please read this and go over this article, maybe have a small discussion with your athletes about it. We're not going to read it here together, but there are some big takeaways that I have some quotes from this article. So, the choice made by athletes to engage in sportsmanlike behavior depends in large part on how the sport is structured by coaches, parents, or fans. So the athletes really displayed sportsmanlike behavior depends on how they're brought up by their coaches, their parents, or how they are reacting in stands. So parents, you are a big deal for sportsmanship. Another big thing is poor sportsmanship is a learned behavior, as is good sportsmanship. We all learn moral behavior from engaging with others, watching the behaviors of others, or being taught ethical behaviors. Therefore, teaching and modeling appropriate behaviors can enhance sportsmanlike behaviors. So, I have instructed all of my coaches that they will be needing to discuss different character traits, and sportsmanship is one of the traits that coaches will be discussing with their athletes. So, not only will they be learning it and seeing good sportsmanship from my coaches, but parents at home, you will need to be also good models of behavior for good sportsmanship, because whether you realize it or not, students and younger kids, they see a lot more and they kind of act as what they have seen. And then the last big takeaway is sportsmanship is an action verb. It is something we must actively seek to teach and reinforce through our words and our actions at every opportunity, because sportsmanship counts. So please, athletes and parents, please read and go over this article. Talk about what sportsmanship is and how we can do a better job of displaying it and being better role models for everyone else. So this is the end of our meeting. I'd like to thank you all for attending. Here is my contact information. If anyone has any questions about sportsmanship or anything regarding their season, we hope everyone has a good year and that we expect big things from this next sports season. Thank you.